Roggy live.
Greetings, everybody out there in TV land, Facebook, YouTube, the World Wide Web, as we so speak, and my fellow friends out there in Fit FM 96.7. Welcome to another episode of Primal Sports Center. And as you can see, I'm the solar bird flying today. I don't have the Schwab, Kate Watson with me. And Dale is somewhere off in the sunset. And our good friend Peter, controversial boss, is somewhere around the place, but he'll be joining me sooner than you would think. So as you know, people, we have a really interesting show today. Not going to take up a lot of time. We have interesting topics as well, the recent Jamaica defeated DR Congo. And also the resignation of the Italian president and coaching staff, which really rocked the world as well following their World Cup exit. We also can be looking at Champs itself. What next for Champs? The champions themselves, JC and Heidel, JC and Edward Allen, as we had figured that would have happened. And also, we'll talk a little bit NBA. And we also have with us that interview with Rudolph Speid, former interim manager of Jamaica. He'll be joining us in around 5 minutes or so with this one. But as I can say, let us talk about I want to start it off, Peter. Champs?
Start it off with Champs.
Champs. Yeah, so let me start off with Champs. KC basically relinquished their title to Jamaica College. Just a roundup of the top three. JC 345 points, KC 282, Calabar 169.33. And on the girls' side, Edwin Allen 338.5, Heidel 259.5, and Homewood 167. Overall, wonderful championship, I must say. We saw some stunning performances. Icing on the cake would have been Shania Douglas, her 100 meter and 200 meter times were splendid. Jason Peter of KC, 45 seconds in his 400, another superb performance. So overall, it's a great chance, but I have a little concern. And it's a concern I wanted to share a few weeks now about Champs itself and what is becoming of Champs. And the issue I'm having is that I think that it's losing spectatorship, so to speak. I don't know if it's the pricing, I don't know if it's the time, but I'm not getting that feeling of Champs anymore. When I was younger, on a Friday evening, jam pack, almost jam pack. And on a Saturday, by 2 o'clock the stadium is full. I'm not seeing that anymore. So I'm wondering if Champs is losing that grip on the society, especially the school in society itself. Or is it just a shift? Is it the scheduling? I know back then we used to have the 100 and the 100 on the Fridays, and you have the rest of the finals on the Saturdays. Don't we have the 100s on the Tuesday or the Wednesday? So I don't know if it's schedule or is it just no longer appealing, but when you look at the spectators itself, I'm not getting that feeling of it anymore. And I think the pricing as well is kind of high. You have $2,000 to go to Champs on a Saturday, $3,000 to go on a Saturday. You have schoolers paying $2,000 on a Friday. It's $1,000. School kids at that on a Friday when most schools are half day in. So I'm really concerned about it. I want it to be reviewed by ISA and the sponsors themselves to see how best we can combat this what is happening with Champs itself. We are getting the performances of the athletes, we are getting the entertainment, but I'm just not seeing that crowd support like we once used to. It's just not there. So I just hopefully they can look into that and see what can be done. So we're at that point where we can have Rudolph Speid come online. Speid, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
What's up, boss? How things?
good. I'm good. And you?
Uh, fairly good, you know, fairly good. Fairly good. So, Speedy, I know that. How the family? How the family? I want to just let me start off with that. How the family?
Everybody good, man.
Mentally, how you doing? Because I know you're on a lot of uh, you're back broad still, you know. You're back broad.
No, because you have to put everything into contents. I'm a person who on the streets a lot, go to matches. I don't get any pushback from the people in Jamaica. It's just a set of people who do blogging, doing all of the pushback. And when I check, it's really the same 3 person, and they might have up and go to 5. A lot of them is really because they don't have they don't have information that they could use. A lot of it is also ignorance. So if I was worried about those things, I wouldn't be the man for the job.
Okay. All right, Speed, we're just going to just dive into it at the same time. We're not going to go around the
Sure.
corner, we're not beat around the bush. This is Primal. We're all big men, so we're just talk on a level. We're talking so that the Jamaican public themselves can really understand what's going on. Um, First and foremost, because I might be one of those detractors who there's a lot of things I just don't like what is happening, and I don't have all information. But I'm gonna just give it to you as I can give it to you. No disrespect, but I come to you as a man to a man.
Stuff, man.
Let me
Speed,
ask a question, brother.
speed.
So much preamble.
Yeah.
What go on? What go on with the World Cup? What go on? Big
By the
man
World
thing.
Cup.
What go on?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I don't know how much you know. We got a really easy pathway in the first session, in the first time around. But the truth is, it's not much not easy, right? And I thought that there was 2 pivotal times. One was at Curacao. I think we should have approached the game at different and drew that game if we couldn't win it. And there were some circumstances, we had some cards, etc. And the second point was the Trinidad game, which I thought we could have won that one after leading, and Trinidad was essentially out of the tournament. Those 2 times, I think they were pivotal. Of course, the last game we hit the post 3 times, and we got a shot from in the box with keeper 1-on-1. All of those went awry. So that's really what happened. Now, when it comes to the playoff, the truth is that's the harder route. You're talking about a team that get past Nigeria and some other top teams playing the African Nations Cup. They were prime, had really good players. And if you believe in our values, the players that play on the Congo team value 153 million, or was 53 million, just to give you an idea of the difference between what would have been up against. And even with that, I don't think we lost the game. If you saw the goal that was allowed, definitely is a handball. So that's the World Cup dream went there, not because of football alone, but other issues, yeah.
It was that kind of hard for Salah though.
It don't matter, it's the
Hard,
truth. But you need to tell
hard.
me something that I just said that wasn't true.
It was hard for Salah Speed. It hard for deal with.
Speed.
It's hard.
Rudolph, let me
Well,
ask
you need to ask a question though, because I don't even know what you're saying.
Rudolph. I've been watching the replay of the goal that Congo ostensibly scored, and from every angle, it's obvious that the player punched the ball into the goal. Why did the players not appeal instantaneously on the field?
I know everything. No, but they did, they go up to the referee in his face and tell him, say, it's not a goal. The referee was checking it there and waving them away and say, no, I'm checking. But what was astonishing was that after 2.5 minutes, you'd have thought the referee, as usual, whatever the VAR people were saying was inconclusive, he would have gone to the monitor at the side of the pitch and look himself.
I didn't see that. He didn't
He did
approach
not.
the monitor.
He did not. And that is what is so strange about all these decisions. So everybody have them feelings, but just look at the facts. That is a team that is ranked much lower than us, in form of more valuable players than us. Everybody was saying it was going to give us 5-love. At the end of 90 minutes, we were 0-0, and that's how we lost. And in my mind, we haven't lost.
It's
but
unfair.
these things happen in football.
I'm going to ask you one more question. What recourse, have you given up on it, or are you going to appeal?
No, the JFF was appealed it, yes.
In other words, the appeal is pending?
Yes.
So do you think that given what would you get? A replay, a full replay, or you get
I,
3 plays?
I don't I don't know what FIFA is gonna do. At this time though, because it's so close, I don't know what the remedy could be. It's difficult at this time because it's so close. So it's up in the air. I don't know what's gonna happen, but we have seen them come down hard. And look here, it's a strange thing. The referee couldn't finish the match. I don't know if he was under distress why him not go to the monitor. So, we can sit here and talk about feelings, but there are certain facts. We just didn't lose the match. We thought if we go to penalty shootout, we have the better keeper and we probably would prevail. That's what happened there. Now, I'm telling you, and look here, people. We were the ones who got the most corners in the match. That means we were going for it, right? We were the ones who had majority possession. It does not behave like this was any normal thing that we did in Congo match, The team was normal. We won the duels, more duels. We were competitive. One of the best effort we have ever put out for a team that is ranked below us. You know that normally the team would have 75% possession and we have 20. We had 53 and they had 47. Jamaica did extremely well in that game. Extremely well.
So on the whole, then, given a replay, you would have used the exact same strategy.
No, you see, okay, this is a team that don't concede goals a lot, right? So we went there in the tournament, so we're not conceding any goals. So that was the first thing we talk about the first day we met. Look here, for nearly an hour. Hey, we are defending not so good. We're going to fix it and work on that because we also know that they are Congo. Even if you beat them, it was going to be like a 1-goal difference. So based on that, we did our planning.
Speid, question. Why didn't we do enough to keep Al Grimson?
We can't do remember he was living here in Jamaica and I don't know what you think. Getting paid every month on time, giving everything he want, any play him want, and then he moved back. Him just didn't want to stay. What are you going to do? Say is a war crime to keep people in your country when they don't want to stay.
It's not matter of war crime, but
What do you mean a war crime? A crime. We can't keep him if he don't want to stay. Just think about it. That's why I'm saying stop using emotion, ask your questions, and we move on. Don't use them.
So the man breached his contract. He breached his contract then?
No, he resigned. And he was allowed to resign.
No, I mean, prior to that, there was a time when he was coming and going.
Right. He must supposed to live here. That's what we agreed on.
So the JFF was unhappy with how he was performing his contract in that respect.
Yeah, the JFF wanted him to stay here, yes. Because we wanted also to help the younger kids develop, So remember, we wanted to have these matches outside of the windows so the locals can get a chance to express themselves. So there was a development side why we wanted the person to be here.
Yeah.
Fast forward to McLaren's appointment now. You said that the JFF had an issue with Al Grimson going in and out of the country. But we see where McLaren.
We never say, no, we want any coach, we want the coach to live here.
So that's in the contract.
So they can go anywhere they want to go. We're not stopping anybody from going anywhere they want to go.
But we saw where McLaren was doing a similar thing. He's not living in the country.
He was worse.
He was worse. Yes. So wasn't that basically a breach of contract to get rid of him at that point in time? Ask him to leave. Because to me, management is from top to bottom, And if you employ somebody under certain criterias, and you see where he's trending down a particular line, wouldn't it be right at that point to say, listen, if you're not going to fulfill the obligations of this contract, it's best to just pack your bags and leave? Because I think that we lost the campaign after Al Grimson,
But why would you say that? You're not using the facts, because when McLaren took over, he won all his games. That we were first, so we got seeded. One of the things we were working at was that he would have won his game in the initial part of the World Cup qualifier, so we got seeded, and then we get a draw. And all of that was done by him, so you can't say that didn't happen. We got seeded, and that is why we got the draw that we draw. So I don't know you fire somebody who did what they came here to do by winning all their preliminary games and
But
coming
at
out
the
on top
same,
against
but at the same time, still Speed. Look at it. You had an issue with it with one coach. Why not level with this one and say, listen, we don't want this. This is the final stage of the campaign now.
we tell him all of that.
And him still doing feel like.
What you think?
Basically, him just doing feel like still.
Yeah. That's why there is the big push now. And it's the same thing that happened with the under-20 coach a couple of years ago. They just don't want to stay here. You don't understand that concept. So who is staying here is the local coaches who look like me and you and who want to stay here and live here. And it's just a fact. So now you have the evidence. So you don't need to get angry with anybody.
Be hungry.
No, but you have to go with the facts. The coaches them don't want to live here. That's it.
But this coming like a cycle though, Speed, because when you look at years gone by coming up, Carl Brown to Wendell, then we have Bora, then we have Tapper, then we have Wilfred, then we have Tapper again. So it's like a cycle where we lose local, go overseas, lose local, go overseas. Are we trending that way now? No, we want consistency.
What is wrong with that?
We want
what consistency you want? We did go
local.
all right, but in case of where you are, so we go overseas and we get the same results.
No, we go overseas and come back home.
No. We go overseas and overseas.
This time around?
Yeah.
Is that this time around? So who was before?
So what is the point?
Who was before Al Gibson? The Tapper. Who was before Tapper? The Wilfred. So we keep...
No, hey, listen, no, man.
Right.
As I tell you, say, you must have information and we can talk. It was Paul after Tapper, then Al Grimson, then McLaren. So we went overseas 3 times. And it's the same problem we have. None of them wanted to live in Jamaica. For whatever reason.
Quite frankly, Rudolph, make we talk about the contribution of the players. You made some omissions that caused some amount of controversy of some players and so on. And some people you stated a principled position that some of these players had a history of indiscipline, going out in the nights, that they were supposed to be in their hotels. Some of them even brought guests, family members. Some of them were seen publicly by people like us all over the town at places like Raw Bar and Taboo, night before match and all this kind of thing. And you made a principled stance, correct?
Yeah, but that was a secondary reason why they were eliminated. The initial reason why they were eliminated is they are not playing at their clubs. So imagine you have players who so I put out a category and say, listen, this is my category. I want players who are in the top 20. And if you're not in the top 20, you must be playing in the top league in the country that you're playing. So some players was eliminated from the criteria alone. But there's other criteria that you must be playing for your club, playing regularly and have performances. That is where they have been playing for the national team.
Yeah.
Yes. And then the other one is just straight in discipline, where we know who they are. The coach see them when the coach go to jog them or come in. We know exactly who they are. I mean, so after you're not playing for your club and you're in discipline, you don't have any.
Because it's a compound thing, and it's not just a single criteria, it's a compound thing.
A compound,
Yeah, well,
but you feel, why is it about Jamaicans or players? I'm sure they exhibit good discipline when they are playing at Aston Villa and Chelsea and all these places, right? Them can't be in a professional setup. No?
No. Why you think so much of them on the bench and not on the match card and not playing?
Tell me.
Same in discipline, them not put out the effort. It's not just even in our game, we had issues in our game because I had 6 person cramping up in a DR Congo game, which just started to give me a headache of how to manage a game.
Yeah.
When you have 6 of the starters in cramping up. They just, some of them just wasn't up to that type of punishment. And I figure, look, let me give you an example. Private sector people buy the best things. If you say private sector people buy it, are the best things on show. So when private sector come for these players and say, come to my club, I like you, it means that there's quality, you know. Our players have quality. What happened is that when they reach, somehow the coach decides, say, listen, I can't put my job on the line for you, Can't put my job on, so I'm not going to play you. And now start you, I'm throw you to the squad, I'm not going to start you. There's a reason. And I think that is our biggest issue. So the problem is, if that coach is every single day of the year, how I don't pick him? Why should I pick him? Just think about it.
Yeah.
Remember, no, everybody think would have be Speid. You're not a good coach because Jamaica you come from. Well, the good coach no want you. So what am I supposed to do if you can't even impress the coach where you're there with him day in, day out? So you're playing in him squad, in him plans. And that is really the problem why some of those players get left out. Now, have nothing to do with personal or I mean, I like them or anything. But at the end of the day, the players who these are the ones that you play.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest with you, I'm not going to knock you with the criteria. We give a thumbs up for that one because it's worldwide amongst countries. If you're not playing for your club, there's no way they're going to select you for your country. It's not just Jamaica. It's all, even England. Trent not playing for Real Madrid and England don't select him. Tuchel don't select him, don't look at him. So you have to prove himself. So I don't have no issue with the criteria itself. I think the issue persons may have is that there are players that were left out, and we can call names, Whisper and Bowser and Dixon were left out, and they are impactful players. They are one who knows what's going on. But like I've always said, if you're not playing for your club, seriously, training minutes at club level versus real-time football and what you have to do in football.
No, it depends on the club. If you're in a Premier League environment, I've gone to Chelsea and I've gone to Brentford and look and see what they do. Them have those players that are on the bench almost at the same level like the players. Them know what to do. Them spend the money on them, then give them individual training. You're there. Trust me, for private sector to put in that environment, you're top man. You know where you are doing, you can really play. But those players that you're talking about a while ago, they were there in the qualifiers. You tell me what them do.
They are their moments. I use the man who believe in moments. So you can't say they never have the moments.
So you know a difference between a local player and an overseas player. I just tell you now. It's not because the overseas better in a technique or anything. But if you tell them to do something 10 times, they will do it 8 times. Give me an idea how much a local player will do it out of 10 before him do what him feel like. Give me an idea. What do you think?
2.
Exactly my point. You see, you know all the answer. I'm lucky if me get it 3 times. You know all the answer. It's not nothing for the ability,
It's a discipline.
Okay.
Rudolph, I hear that your current post with the JFF is you are technical director, correct? National technical. What's the post? No. Tell us the post that you have.
No. I gave up the chairman of the technical committee from last year. I am no.
Oh, you give it up?
Yes, from last year. So right now, I am only a board member. That's
You're
a
board member. So I understand that you aspire.
And as a matter of fact, I am not anything now because I'm on what you call a secondment.
Yes. So what I saw in the papers that you aspire to being appointed national coach.
No, I never aspired to be anything. If you know anything about me, I've never even applied for a job from a bar.
Have you applied for a job?
No, and I've never applied for a job from a bar. Never. No care much job ever get me.
You're being maligned in the papers.
Definitely. I am always, people ask me to do things and I say yes or no.
Let me ask you then, do you want to be national coach?
If I'm asked, I will.
So
I'm asking you.
You can't ask me. You don't have no power.
All right, Rudolph, let me ask you a question. Coach after coach, last 3-4 coaches, same criticism. No midfield, right? No midfield, no penetration through the middle, over-reliance on long passing, and so on. As a coach, tell me how you plan to fix that problem.
But that never happened under my watching none of my games. And watch all of my 4 games. I have majority.
You're happy with the ball distribution in this match?
No, I can't be totally happy. But I'm saying to you, what you just described never happened in any of my games. Every single game, I dominated possession. Every game, the 4 games. Let's go look at them. In the first half against Congo, a 56% possession, me have and them have 44. I dominate.
But our
Against,
position was mostly lateral and
it
thing
don't
down the
it don't
block.
matter. Look for all of the big teams. Them. That's what them do too. Them not go for that like possession.
But,
Yeah.
Them
but,
keep the ball for a reason.
but
That don't happen
speaking,
with my teams, them none at all. And look here, and I have not considered a goal over my 4 game in a regular time, except the one where something there, So you can say whole heap of difference, me set up my teams them for play.
The
I
team
mean,
was slightly better organized, Rudolph, and I'm a layman, but what I saw looked slightly better organized than before. But
well,
after a
the
while,
stats say the stats bear it out,
the most important stat is the one that's a goal,
no, sir. No, sir. 'Cause
You
that's
can
what
have
Cameron-
all the position you
I
want,
don't
and the
agree.
goal is the main one, And I think that is what messed up our campaign the entire time. I don't have the issue with you having most of the ball.
I was
But
gonna wonder about that.
we have to convert the chances. If we get chance, we can't just have the ball and have 60, 70
But
possession
no
of the ball.
Jamaica team has been known to score a lot of goals, though, So don't try put that one on me. There's no Jamaica team that score a lot of goals.
But I, no, sir, I'm going to slightly put it on you. Because Speid, this Congo game. Because I didn't want to get into it, but I'm going to get into it. It's select one natural number 9, which is Kadamachi.
Are
Then
you
you had a
joking?
few.
What about Low?
Yeah, low is inside out. He can play on the wing and also
No, him
number
is a
9.
centre forward. It's both of them is select.
Both of them. So
Yes.
we had two players fell out because of injury, and you call Nikolai and you call Ellison Fuller. My problem is, wouldn't you? We know that Boza would have been out. I mean, I understand they have a disciplinary problem, and deal with it your way.
That's not why Boza is out. Boza hadn't played since November when we lost the thing. He hasn't played the next competitive game. Why you keep on saying me have problem with him? I don't have a problem with him.
I don't say I have a problem with him. I say I have the
No, but
issue.
so you're going to play a player who not play?
But
And he wasn't playing a lot before that anyway. Even at the Trinidad game, the coach didn't put him on the pitch. Come on, guys, just get the facts and then ask me a good question.
Remember me saying, I have no issues if a player not playing for him club. I have no issues with him not playing for the national team. You have to be playing because
So why you calling him name then?
Match.
Then
I was thinking, what about Trevante Stewart? Why didn't you bring another number 9 in when you have 2 players out? Trevante is playing.
Two other number 9. Two of them are playing at the championship in England, which is ranked about 6 in the world. That league is ranked 6 in the world. And you're telling me if you go for one next player where I play in our league, we rank what? Where is your league rank?
But you had 2 wingers that were out.
Which wingers?
Demar Gray was out, and you're bringing in Nikolai. I have another midfielder
But
was
Demar
out.
Gray was out like the last day when him supposed to come in. So Nikolai was right at my fingertips. Me say, me just send go call him down at table and say, come with company plane is a chartered flight. That's what happened. Demar Gray was coming from England and him injured and him saying he can only play in the last game. So there's the guy from down at Valley. We have a chartered flight, the seat there and hotel there. Me never have to carry him still, but me just say, come youth, come, come. You have little potential. Come on. I know a good thing. I know Cavalier and play for. So you could just say I'm a Cavalier player. Continue.
I won't say that part.
Because you know what you guys used to say is pure Cavalier player out there on the team, and there was not even one. So all I want to predict never happened.
Richard King, 2 farmer
Richard
ones.
King is not a Cavalier player. He played for St. Mirren.
Farmer. And Webster, farmer too. So we can say that.
No, you can't.
Without say still like without
Ridiculous, man.
Anyway,
did you know that Richard King is ranked number 9 in the world as the most game played for last year? So this season, he ranked number 9 in the world. So Amiel wanna play him? Number 9 for the most game played in the world. Richard King is ranked number 9.
Rudolph, tell me about Kaim. Kaim was one of my favorite players. He didn't get much play time from any other coaches. Tell me about Kaim. What do you think of him?
Kaim
Dixon?
Oh, well, what I'm teaming, they sent him down to get playing time in a League 2 in England. Him started brightly, and then the coach didn't want him again. They sent him back to Charlton, and Charlton sent him down to the reserves, which is the academy team. Now, it's difficult for me to pick an academy player in a game like this to play, so that's really what happened to him.
Yeah.
So people who want to play for the national team has to take care of their career, You have to take care of your career.
So in other words,
National,
you have to make an impression on your club.
yes.
Yeah.
If the reserves then put him in,
Yeah, man.
At Speed, I see something that I really want to ask you. It's one federation, but we have the females and the males teams. But we're finding more success with the females. What's the issue?
Female is an easier world, man. In other words, the whole 211 nations play male football. The whole 211 nations not play female football. Female is a different world.
It's no comparison.
As in female to female, they are doing much better. They are other cups are going to our third World Cup. This is the 7th campaign that we have failed at.
Yeah, and it's rough. And I thought we shouldn't, but you see, because you pigeonhole the JFF achievements in the senior team alone, it's difficult to explain to you the other strides that have been made. So, like for instance, when Ricketts came in administration, we didn't even have one C license coach. Now we have 1,500 D license, 400 C license, nearly 150 going to 200 B license. We have about 50 A license and 4 persons who is them pro license. Remember, we revamped the Men's Premier League. The Men's Premier League is now the #1 ranked league in the Caribbean. The Women's Premier League, we are the only one that reached a level of development here in the Caribbean, and a lot of, even further than some Central American, right? We did the National Academy, that the under-17 team that qualified for the World Cup. Only one player never come to the National Academy, which was established about 3-4 years ago. So, and if you look now, we have the elite youth football competition playing. So we build out infrastructure, which is, to me, I am more interested in that than just say, yeah, we have to qualify for the World Cup every time. Because at the end of the day, for the first time, every single Jamaican team is being coached by a Jamaican coach who came to our coaching school. Well, except the one on the female side. But this is what is happening. So we're looking for the big grand prize, but we're gonna build the foundation, and I think this administration built the foundation. The under-20 team, if you saw them, is the first ever see under-20 team with such disdain with the opposition. Sometimes whenever he's even come out of the Caribbean zone in the under-20, you saw what happened with a local coach who come to our coaching school. So sometimes we're disappointed now. You're not disappointed like us. Trust me, you think you're disappointed, you're not disappointed like us in our federation. We know what happened, but at the end of the day, hey, we let the post 3 times not cross so much. We get a chance in the 18-yard box of the goalkeeper alone. Now you can always blame the federation, but you tell me, say, one professional player from that range shouldn't put in at the net, even 1 out of the 4.
Yeah.
So blame go all around, man. The blame go all around. We too, them too, the blame all around, man.
Yeah, I blame everybody.
Not to mention, say, you and every one of you bloggers know, say, some of the same player them will miss. Did they a party?
Sure.
Like say, you blame the all around. You blame all around.
I blame
some
everybody.
Same people right.
Well, go ahead, man.
Now I'm saying that some of the same people them see them out the road, and then I tell them to go in.
Now, Rudolph, we see them, man. We say it on the show all the time, man. We see them every time.
Yeah, but I say the people, the normal Jamaican person who know a cuss the JFF, when they see them, they don't report them, so we don't put them on the field. They don't do nothing.
Rudolph, I was telling a story on the show 2 weeks ago. I was down in Barbados playing Caribbean Championship, table tennis. And one of them best players was in the party. And he couldn't get into the party, The people at the gate said, we're not letting you in. He's a national representative and you're playing Caribbean champs. Never seen that happen in Jamaica yet.
No, them take them and give them one buckle of MNC.
Yeah, man, buy them a drink. Yeah, man. That's the problem with us. And I remember one time West Indies lose down at Sabina Park. I saw them the night before out on the town. And they lost for the lowest score at that time. It was the lowest
47.
test match. That was down Sabina Park. I saw Shonda Ball and
47.
I saw the whole of them for 40-yard runs.
Yeah. So they must say 2 ball or something. I don't even know they must say.
Yeah.
Or I look after the ball gone. So,
but I have to ask you, Speid. Rudolph, I have to ask you this question. You think Jamaica going to make it back? This was the easiest, by your own admission. This was it was a gift, don't? It was a gift to us.
But I must tell you, next year is still 6 teams go to the World Cup, right? Next World Cup.
Yeah.
Where we have to do, and we don't have plot it out already. We have to finish in the top 6, so we get seeded again, like what happened at this one. So that is between now and the end of this year, before the World Cup qualifier start next year. We
Yeah.
have to get ourselves in the top 6. Once we get ourselves in the top 6, then when the draw come out, we'll avoid the powerhouses them. And that is what we have to do for getting at the next 2030 World Cup.
So you acknowledge USA, Mexico, and Canada. You give them them spot already, automatically.
No, it's just like the under 17. Everybody said Canada was gonna beat us.
Exactly.
When me and Donzel sit down and we look on them and analyze, because one of the things about us now, because all the coaches are Jamaicans, we talk, and we sit down and we help each other.
Yeah.
And what we do, and we analyze Canada, we know so we don't beat them. A 3-1 them get, and them lucky get a penalty, but we not believe, We know we're going to beat them based on the instruction and everything. So, as I said before, we're getting closer to being real good at competing with the other coaches. Because usually, you see Jamaica start a match and we look good. And then eventually, while tactics and, know and nuances as game come in, we always lose. That's not the case anymore. We can hold with one because the coaches them better. And that was always the problem with us. We never have the education. Now we get in there.
What does the ideal Jamaica team look like to your Speid? I mean, like you and I know what Africans play like, Central Americans play like, Brazilians play like. We know Englishmen and Swedishmen play, right? What Jamaica team supposed to look like?
No, but it's still the same basic things. I think for a long time we talk about big and strong and fast. Of course, it's an attribute what we have, but that can't be the game. I think we never played the game properly before.
Yeah.
Like the simple one, look here, a 90 minutes you play for. If you get the ball to the next team for 75 minutes, brother, you're in trouble.
So possession is your stat.
You have to kind of you don't have to keep majority, but you have to be in the ballpark like 48% and up.
Yeah.
You're competing. Once we drop down to 25, as usually happen with any team will look good, that's it for we. It's just a matter of time before the team then beat us, or make a mistake and team beat us. So we have to learn to play the game as it is. It's a modern game. The modern game is you must can compete in the moments, them in the pockets. So you can't win the balance, get back. You have to learn to keep it too, right? And probe. So yes, we have to incorporate our natural physical strength and pace and all of that in the game. But at the same time, because the game is dependent on pace and power now, but at the same time, we have to learn to play football just like the rest of the nations. And all of them is built on learning to play properly.
You didn't know there was a speed until you said pace.
So Speid, let's go back to the Congo game just for a little minute. So you mentioned before that the players that are cramps, right? And there were some, I know I get asked this question a lot of times, there were some questionable substitutions and the position of where the players were put on to play. And I've seen that with a lot of the other coaches we had before, Al Gibson, McLaren. Was it a mismanagement of the game itself at that point with the substitutions, or was it you being over-calculating of the situation? Because we saw where Cephas came on, he was the first substitute, or probably the second. He and Mason Clark came on at the same time. But Cephas was asked to play through the middle.
No, that's not true.
He wasn't asked to play through the middle?
No, the substitution was Mason Clark center forward, Cephas left wing, and he was on the left wing side. So let me give you some nuances, because as I said before, if you don't have the information, you'll say what you just said. When we put Tyrese Campbell to pin Wan-Bissaka, which is one of the best baller them have, right?
Yeah.
But Tyrese are at 36 km/h. So all of those nuances, we have them pat. We not take nothing for granted. And we know say Wan-Bissaka he can run at that pace. So he must stay home, and he did. Tyrese was able to pin him back. Because remember, this is a player that's attack at random, right? We know him. We see him in the Premier League all the time. He was able to pin him back. When I made the change and put Cephas over there, he run at the same pace like Tyrese Campbell, right? So now him fresher. So we are say, okay, him probably can give him a little bit more problem and see if we can get something from it. But what start to happen, Wan-Bissaka decides him don't defend and him start to attack. Now, Mason Clark is a much better defensive winger than Cephas. And that is why we switched back, put Mason Clark over there because we saw the attack start to come through there and say, all right, Mason Clark, you help us out there so Cephas go down the middle, go stand up. Now everybody knows him having pace. In the meantime, I was calibrating to take off Bailey and switch Cephas to the right. But the truth is, because the man with the whole midfield went down and Webster, that's four. That's some other changes we may have to make, So now I had 6 changes. I may have to make them 4 there. I have no choice. So I had to keep on Bailey. But what I said, Bailey go in at the middle and see if I should go to the right-hand side. There's no, as a matter of fact, I was coaching in at the moments in real time with what me have and what was happening around me. There was no stupid change. It's just people who don't understand the game, understand what we're doing. Now, why I started Bailey on the right was because the left back would have been a little slightly lesser player than Wan-Bissaka. And I said, maybe we could get some joy there with our best player over on the right-hand side. So there was thoughts going through every single move. And it's only because you guys don't believe Jamaican coaches have that type of power and knowledge at the team why you talk like that. May I tell you that's why?
No, because in hindsight, when I'm looking at it, I'm like...
No, there's no hindsight because you should see the 4 players who cramp up and have to take them off.
Well, those players are like in the 90th minute, man. You take them off in the 90th minute speed.
But I told you what happened about the first change. I did put Cephas over there. Cephas couldn't manage Wan-Bissaka. Me have to fix it. So I put a better defensive winger over there who is and Cephas has played centre forward for his club, Let me just tell you that.
Yeah, but I know that.
Okay, so what are we talking about?
They chimed there in a couple of positions, a couple of times they chimed there.
And also other local coaches play Cephas centre forward, but you guys, I see we're not there. Is that goes to see? It's really coaching.
But Tyrese Campbell also plays centre forward.
Yes, but Tyrese Campbell load for this season is much higher than Cephas. That is why we thought changing them there, a swap for swap, would have been good. A fresher player who play much less minutes. Remember, it's the back end of the season, and a robot them, So let me tell you something again. You see every day, we track the player them work rate. We track them if they do 6 today, 4 yesterday, 5. When them play their last match, it would be 10. So we track all of those type of work where the players them put in. So a player who put in 10, 10, 10, 10 for the whole month, he might get tired eventually. So we have to know when it comes to us and we get the data from the club, we interpret it and decide. We call it technical specification and say, so that one can't give you more than 65 minutes or 70 minutes. And that's how we make our decisions then.
Well, I understand that. And I know that you're a coach that you pride yourself on having players that have a lot of can work for you. They can trap back, they can go forward, they can do the work.
That's what every coach wants. Not me. What me? You talk about me. That's why we know that Mason Clark is a better defensive winger than Cephas. I know me alone know, the whole world know.
And Tyrese as well, they work harder, tracking back and going. I know that much. The issue I was looking at was, if he was going to make that substitution, why not leave Bailey, leave Kadamachi on, you make that left wing substitution where they want to bring on Mason Clark or Cephas, and then change Webster because Webster was on a yellow card from the 35th minute.
Yeah, listen to yourself. You talk about if you take off one defender and put on wingers. Yeah, compare defender and winger.
So take off Webster and put on Bell, and then you make a wing substitution by moving Tyrese Campbell and putting on Mason Clark.
You're saying that everybody get a yellow card, you take them off? So Webster so far score. No, stop. Don't. Webster so far score was over 7. He was in the top 3 performance on the day. Just go look at it. Why take him off?
I look at it.
And did you see that he was in the top 3 Jamaican performance?
So why sub Bailey Kadamachi?
No, but I ask you a simple question. Did you look and see him in the top 3 performance to Jamaica? So you take off a man when I top 3? But you take off a man when I top 3 performance to Jamaica?
But I asked you a question, why take off Bailey Kadamachi at that time then? He wasn't giving you enough? Or why not put on Jamal Lowe? Why not make a like-for-like substitution?
No, but Mason Clark, who played at centre forward, play every single minute for his club, You know what I'm saying? Mason Clark, just to give you an idea, is valued at £10 million. You have any idea what you're talking about? And he plays every single match for his club, while Kadamachi don't. You just attack because you don't know the facts. Just think
I know
about
the
it.
facts.
Then you
I
just
just
say Mr. Clark is a bad substitution. Come on.
Rudolph. Beg you take it easy from my virgin.
It's true. Because we have to take it easy upon him for true.
No, well, Rudolph, cool man. You take it easy from virgin, man.
Yeah, man.
You have any other questions?
Yeah, I have another one.
I mean, I can't have one that dominate you like this.
No, man. Speed, the question I want to really ask you, the whole organization, they say you're no longer, you're just a board member. And we already heard in the news that a contract is out there for a new coach. The question I want to ask is, are you in line? And what is the criteria for hiring a coach now? Is there a listing of coaches that will be hired?
No, there is well, the president was very clear, and the president said the team YMC work with him, but I like it if he continue. The president was very clear, but that don't mean that must happen. I mean, everybody have options. You believe, say, may I have other options too? It's not something we have to do. So when the offer come and we sit down and we talk, nothing going to happen before April 19th, and then we see where it goes.
So
that's the board meeting.
Isn't for April 19th the first board meeting?
Yeah.
So how can a contract be drawn up at that point in time? Wouldn't you have had a board meeting to discuss things first, then draft a contract and come back with another board meeting rather than...
No. If the board, no, so board go. Board just say, look here, if them put a proposal to the board and the board saying, them want this coach, them send it to the general secretary, and the general secretary and the coach work out the contract. That's it.
General secretary and the coach work out the contract.
So who would imply, yes.
Who would propose who would make that proposal
the technical committee is really the one, but it can come from a board member. It don't matter. It's a board, who have the power for they were elected to do these things. So once it come to the board meeting, anybody will bring it up and say, listen, we want a coach and we recommend this. Them discuss it in there, them decide, them say general secretary make it happen. They might decide what the only thing the board might say, listen, we can't pay more than X amount of money, and then it leaves to the CEO. That's how company work.
If you are selected, which I hear that
answer that question already.
Long time.
Long time. So now you go back over the question.
But the second part, if you're selected, would you step down from being a part of the board itself?
Yes, if I would have to, because initially with a interim position, that wasn't a requirement. I was seconded, right? But if it's a permanent position, definitely I would have to step down.
But then again, Rudolph, it brings into mind the fact that you are part of the Cavaliers setup as well. Are you currently a member of the Cavaliers setup?
Yeah. So
no, if you take charge of the national team on a more permanent basis, would it be necessary for you to separate yourself or second yourself away from Cavaliers?
No, it's not. It's just that Jamaica people have one rule for me and a different rule for everybody else, because
double standard.
Yeah, very double standard, because even Sir Alex Ferguson was coaching club and country, and nobody never tell him to stop. And it's still happening all over the world right now, right? I mean, it's difficult for coach two teams though, but then you have to look on it two way. If I'm not coaching and just coaching 6 matches a year, am I on top of my game?
Yeah.
Or am I getting practice coaching somewhere else? So all of these things would have to be worked out, but it's not new. There's nothing new about it. It has happened before. And whatever happened in my stint in 4 games, nobody can ever talk about it. But there's no evidence that I'll pick a Cavalier player over another player, because and that's not have been my record either, because think about it. You think I could win so much? I was talking to Jerome Waite yesterday, in Jamaica, Jerome Waite win the most titles than me.
Yeah.
Right? And me I talk about every league, me just never win church league, but me win business house, Major League, Super League, Premier League, Caribbean Cup. Once in name football, me win it. Under 13, under 15, under 17. This is not the record of somebody that cherry pick players. It's the record of somebody who pick person who can do the job. Don't you think?
You want to win?
Yes. Nothing else matter.
Yeah.
Speed, as it relates to the next coach, wouldn't it be, if you're in the running to be the next coach, right? Wouldn't it be ideal for you to step down from the board now, before
I
that
am not
decision
on the
is
board.
made?
I am not on the board. I don't go to no board meeting. I'm seconded. The first board meeting I would be going would be because I'm no longer the coach, would be the 19th of April. Since I got this post, I've never been to a board meeting. I don't even know what happened. I don't get no. I'm not on the board basically, right? Until the April board meeting, which I'll attend. And if them say they might make me be the coach or something, me have to just, there's other things, but I'd have to just leave and just resign same time. But until that time, why am I going to be resigning and I don't know if I'm going to be the coach? The board
So,
almost have me to do.
Rudolph, man to man, you prefer the coaching thing to the administration thing, don't?
Me have a curse because I'm good at both of them.
No. But you exhibit to me. I've watched you and this man go head to head, and your deep knowledge of the game is clear. You enjoy the tactical aspect of the game. Don't tell me I'm not seeing that. I've seen that. And likewise with me, I love the tactics of sport, and I see your fascination with it. And if you weren't doing this, you'd be bored. I think you want to coach, and I think you enjoy coaching. And what I see here, I'm getting from you a more. I mean, I don't want to compare you with the foreign man them that we have come across, but you seem to have a more cerebral approach to it than them, And it's good to know that a local man. I mean, the ball round. You can think as well as they can, and you might be outthinking them. You and I know, that the bright man them, in Europe, if you're bright, you're not going into football, right? In South America, a bright boy becomes a medical doctor, or an accountant, or a physics man.
Remember that I'm an accountant here.
Well, there you go. But the point, the point I'm making is that a lot of people who end up in football were not the guys who were at the front of the class, You know that, right? And so it's quite conceivable that Schaefer and McLaren and what's his name, the last one?
Grimson.
And Hal Grimson. Hal Grimson was a doctor, so I give that to him. A dentist. Hal Grimson was a dentist. But it's good to know that people who can think still stay in the game. You know what I mean? So I liked how you presented yourself.
And the coach that teaching me now, the pro license, Dave Adams, is the same coach that teach him do Arteta Pro. I think him do Thierry Henry and I think him do.
Really? Yeah.
Yes, it's the same one carrying me through the pro license course right now.
It's good. I noticed Africa in the last World Cup had a lot of African-born coaches. Which is
as the head coach, but the assistant coach is usually somebody from overseas, so they blend it.
But it means
they blend it,
yeah. People there too, and Speed is here.
Speed. One more thing: your relationship with Miguel Coley. How is it like? Because I was always of the notion that I think he should be the head coach, even after Algrimsey left. I was saying, why not Miguel? Because he's overseas. He has a pro license. He has been doing his thing. He has the requisite training. So why not make him the head coach at that point instead of McLaren? Because I
could answer you two ways. His name was on the list.
I know his name was on the list.
But it's not my choice. No, it's not my choice. It is you understand, it's not my choice. That's one way I could answer you. I could also answer you another way. You see, a head coach is a specialist person. It's not the knowledge make you become a head coach. Just I can tell you, Pep is probably not the brightest person at Manchester City in terms of knowledge, and can run drills and know which drills to run for those certain things. But clearly, as a head coach, we make decisions. It's really the ability to make people believe in you and follow you. And follow your ideas. Pep said himself, sometimes tell the player them foolishness and then believe him. That's what you look for in a head coach. It's not because you know things and you have experience why you become a head coach. And just look for all of the top head coaches them in the world. You have man much brighter than them. You have man who are professor upon things. Even in a business, you have professor where work, where lecture and all those things. Well, that make me look stupid when it comes to finance, when we talk. But nobody giving them business for run. Because that's not the reason why the person's ahead of anything.
Which coaches do you admire, Speed?
Well, I admire Sir Alex Ferguson, but me not a Man U fan. Just to get me not a Man U fan, right?
So
but he's winning. But his winning mentality.
Teams do you admire?
No, Brazil as usual is my team. I mean,
Even
me not
now?
going.
Even now?
Me not really change so easy. I mean, me admire that team, so but Brazil was the team of me always say my team that in my play. The other coach of me really admire are Richard Williams. And you ask me why me admire Richard Williams. That's
Yes.
tennis player, me know. There was no reason for Venus and Serena to be world number one and world number two. They never played tennis before. Richard never know nothing about it. Them never know about it. Their family never played before. So it tells me that there's a way to become world class if you're serious
Yeah.
about getting there. And Richard was one of the most serious person we know about getting there. People beat him up, him fight for them children get for train on the court, him put in their required work for it to happen. And that is why those are my two favorite coaches.
Gotcha.
And as the second part, your relationship with Cody, how is it to get? How is it now in terms of how was it during the two playoff games, and what you guys pin off each other? Because I know he's very good and you're a good coach as well, despite the
No,
knocks.
we have other coaches. There was Michael Donaldson, who is from Arsenal, which is, and he also was the assistant who coached Pochettino at Tottenham Hotspur. We have Miguel, and we have Peart, who is him just cram information. So we did work on Lamar Morgan. Lamar is very good. So the five of us, and also Aaron Lawrence was our goalkeeper coach. We're a very closely knit bunch. Everybody had their things. But remember again, I am not being a manager in football alone. I was a manager from me at probably 23 or 24, run large companies at high level, boardroom, all of those things. My skill don't come from football to manage. And I know who is the boss when you give me a job. Understand? So when we talk about relationship, at the end of the day, we also know who is in charge and who made the final decision. And I know that is me. And I just so me live my life all the time. I run like that. So the group was brilliant, but at the end of the day, I take full responsibility for what happened.
Nice. Nice.
One last thing. In terms of the accountability regarding JFF and stuff, I know that you guys everybody is sad about the World Cup exit or the qualifying exit. Wouldn't you think that, well, for me, I would say where Italy did it, Italy president did it, the coach did it, the assistant coach did it. Wouldn't it be right that you step away from it and say, listen, I tried, it didn't work out.
Oh, you want the
Who
man
step away?
Oh, you want the man?
Coach, the entire JFF, the revamp.
You're funny.
Two failed, I can't say three failed campaigns. Wouldn't you think the
So,
ideal
so,
thing?
so, no, man, I hear you. So there was 211 countries in a FIFA, right? 48 went to the World Cup. 43, I mean, three of them never even tried qualify, right? And 200, and so you have 150 leave out, right? So one of them resigned. Now, in a Jamaica, I see, we can't, we don't, I'm sure we wouldn't like dictatorship in a Jamaica, right? So we have a democratic process where everybody contribute in to put Ricketts in there and the administration in there, right? 56% vote, but they represent parishes, clubs, organizations, and then put him in by a super majority. His term finish March 2028. This is a democratic world. Is his decision to resign, not me or you. And then, or the 56 people can call an extraordinary general meeting and recall him. So that's one other option.
Okay.
When me and you are talking about now, no make no sense. You understand?
Don't I talk personally. The
No,
personal,
but you can't. All right, so
personally.
the prime minister win. The prime minister win the Jamaica, and him decide say the country will get bad, but him now resign. What is his decision? Come on, it's a democratic country. Why are we
Yeah,
getting so ridiculous now?
but no, it's not ridiculous, Speed. It's
It is
field.
ridiculous. So you look here, but you are say that if you become the head of your PTA and two parents are like you gonna resign?
I'm not two parents we are talking about. The situation we are talking about now, you know, it's three failed World Cup campaign, you know.
All right.
Three, you know.
Listen.
I know one or two, you know.
It's past the hour
It's
now.
a choice. I'm saying, look here, it's a choice. Is the man choice to resign or not? Or the people and recall him? It's not your choice or my choice. Now, me tell you already, say if me get the job, me resign from technical committee, and me say me I left a board. I'm very clear about my choices.
Okay.
Right? But me can't tell a next man what to do. And me can't tell the same man should. As me say, 48 teams qualify, 100 don't qualify. The people
right.
are one man resign.
Rudolph, well done. You have defended yourself very well. You have defended the program very well. I feel very confident. And you have at least one new fan now in the thing. So we're going to thank Rudolph Speid for coming on and talking with us on Primal. Look forward to hearing some more from you, Rudolph, about your plans and your thoughts as the plot unfolds. All right?
Anytime. Thank you.
All right. So thanks for coming on.
Respect.
And
Yeah,
thanks to our viewers, 65,000 people online. Thanks for making it Primal.
All right,
Thanks,
thank
Rudolph.
you. Welcome. Bye-bye.